Hey guys, Corvi from Bodyfield Glasgow. I'm here with my deck profile for when Bodyfield Glasgow came down to Manchester for Nats. And as you all know, it's my favourite deck in the entire game. Darkness Dragon World, Black Dragons. You all know that I love the deck. It's my favourite deck. I just love the playstyle of it. And we'll just get straight on to the monsters. As you know, pretty standard. 4 Death Gaze. It's a 6/1/1, size 1. Pay 1, Spectral Strike 2 when it destroys a monster. Deal 2 damage to your opponent, basically. Pretty standard in the deck. It's much needed. Second, I ran 4 Gallows. Gallows is a great opening card as well as a great ending card because when you it's got Shadow Dive, so it can go under your opponent's monster in the center, but when you deal damage, it's a 2 crit and you heal 1 damage. It's a great opening card. You can get up to that 11. They don't want you to get any more healing, so they might feel like they need to waste an attack on it. It's a great card in general. I decided to play 4 just as a last minute change to the deck. That's why there's not 4 SPs there, unfortunately. Again, pretty standard. It's the size 2. It's the size 2 L Hurricane, basically the same as Death Gaze. Same as Death Gaze, only it's got 1,000 more defense and it's no call, size 2. New changes to the deck. I ran 4. I've not even actually read this name. Befrinnen? Black Dragon Befrinnen. I don't know how to say that. But this is a no call cost. Size 1. 1 crit 2, defense 1, and when it attacks, it destroys a monster. So even if you nullify, it's when it attacks that it destroys it. So the nullify would be null and void and it would still destroy the monster, which is a really great card. This card was MVP of the entire day for me. It got me out of so many situations. It got me out of so many jams. I can't even see what the foil one is. I think this is it. Yeah, it got me out of so many jams. It was MVP of the entire deck and I would recommend running 4 of it. Next, I put in 2 Left Slasher. It's a pay 1 gauge. It's a size 1, 5/1/1. Thundermine, if your opponent would call to the left, take a damage. They take a damage. And Spectral Strike 1. I put this in there simply because I couldn't find anything else to put in. I couldn't think of anything else to put in, and Merrill suggested putting this in. I'm going to give him credit for it, and this actually saved me in more than 2 games. This card, just top deck that card, I could beat over the big thing and deal 3 damage with either El Hurricane or Death Gaze, and this was close to second MVP. It was a great card, and I wouldn't run it more than 2 though. It was a good tech. Size 3s. I ran this bad boy. It's size 3, pay 2 gauge, 7/7. When this is called, destroy a monster on your opponent's side of the field and deal that crit to them. This got me out of a big jam that I was facing. The only game I got salty. It helped in one of the games I got salty about, and it was the only game I got salty about. But we'll go into detail about that later. It's a great card. I sided this in. I put this in because I was really scared of the Raging Spirits matchup, and this just pops when it comes down. I was really scared of the Raging Spirits matchup because everything. Yeah, well, you know why, it's self-explanatory. But it was a great card and it actually did a lot of work. And yeah, I wouldn't change this. Spells. 4 Death Grip. self-explanatory. You don't need to know why I'm running 4 Death Grip, because it's a pay 1, destroy a size 2 or less monster counter. It's a great card, basically a pillar. It's needed. Needed it for. I bumped this up to 4. Devil Stigma. Now, I bumped Devil Stigma up to 4 simply because I took out the Black Dragon Gauge. Let me see if I can find it here. I was running 2 of the Death Wizard Dragon. That when you take a damage, you call this Gauge 2 and take a damage. I was running 2 of that, but I took them out because I didn't want to take that damage, and I just needed more consistency in the deck as a whole, and Devil Stigma was at 3 anyway, so I've just bumped it up to 4, and it actually came in handy. One of the games I was playing against a Dragon Knight player who I won the first round and he went on to win the second match. In the third match I had a whole hand just to outright wipe the floor with him and win, and I had no gauge and I didn't see one of this, and that was the only time I was salty. You'll see that in the vlog, but it was a great card. For the specific build that I'm doing, 4 is needed, and I wouldn't change that. For other decks where gauge isn't really the priority, I would run 3 of this and maybe 2 of the death guy, but I wouldn't change 4. My favourite card, and then just about nearly my favourite spell in the entire deck, is Dark Energy. It's self-explanatory. Pay 1, nullify the destruction of your monster, and it gets counter attack. That's great with Spectral Strike because it just hits back, it kills the monster, and deals 2 damage. And it's not even on your turn. It's great. 4 of self-explanatory. Midnight Shadow. Oh. Midnight Shadow. Counter, as long as it's not a link attack, nullify the attack. No more needs to be said. Black Dragon Shield. If you were to take damage, nullify the attack. And, well, not nullify the attack, reduce your damage that you take to 0 and gain 1 life. No more needs to go on about that. I took this down from 3 because I thought it was cloggy. This is Abyss Symphony. I brought it down to 3 because I brought it down to 2, sorry, from 3 because I feel like it was getting cloggy and I wasn't hitting it at the right times after I gauged it. And sorry, and I feel like it's just more consistent when I have 2 of it. It was a great card. It makes the deck. It's a pay 1, draw 2 if you're on 6 or hit less. It's great, and it combos well with the next card that I put in. That I don't see ran at all in any other decks, and this was Death Astray. And the combo between these 2 cards, I pulled off more than 3 times, and it won me the game every time. This is a great card because the call cost is ditch your hand and make your life free. Draw 4 cards. Now, when you do this and then draw into Abyss Symphony and then play this, that's from no cards. That's a 5 card hand. And I thought of this just I was sitting in my bed, I was watching Family Guy, and I thought, wow, I could get a 5 card hand, and it actually worked out pretty well, and that's why I only run 2/2 because it keeps the consistency. And sometimes this isn't needed, sometimes that's not needed. It was just a great card, and it came in handy. This was a tech that me and Sam put in. If you don't see it, you don't see it. If you do, it comes in handy. And it actually saved me for one of my games. Gate of the Darkness Dragon. Now, what this is a set card. And during your opponent's turn, pay 1 gauge to activate it. And then call up to 2 size 1s on your left and right. I believe it's size 1s. A size 1, up to 2 size 1 or less monsters from your drop zone on your left and right by paying its call cost. You may only use this ability once per turn. When this card is leaves from the field, when this card left your field through the drop zone, deal 1 damage to your opponent. You can only set one of this. This saved me against. We met a guy. We met a guy at our hotel, and he was playing enemy, like the big dragon dungeon enemy with the big dragon, 2 soul, counter, ditch 2, pop. This came in handy because I just kept bringing back this and just attacking his monster, popping a soul, take lifelink free. I just kept bringing it back, and it saved me that game. This card was MVP for that game, and it's a great card, and I'm really thinking about bumping it up to 2. And last of all, I ran 3 of the Steel Fist Knuckle. It's basically the Darkness World Knuckle. It's the same as Dragon Knuckle, only it's a free. It's pay 1 gauge and pay 1 life, and the same effect, counter, pay a gauge, boosted by 2000. Yeah. Great card. I only run it at 3 because I feel that that's more consistent in this deck. I hit it nearly every single game, and it's a free crit. What's not to love about it? Side deck. My side deck was quite poor. 1 card saved me 1 game, etc. And the other cards I didn't usually side in much at all, to be fair. I sided 2 of the Sudden Death. I sided it in once and never saw it, so I don't think. I would probably side it again just because 1s are really good in this game, but I didn't see it at all and I was quite disappointed with it. I sided in 2 of the Demonic Strike Arts Death Requiem. If your opponent has no monsters on field, deal 3 damage. Pay 2, deal 3 damage. I would have rather have. I pulled it off once or twice the entire day. I would have rather have said this. Now that I think about it, this is a pay 1. All your spectral strikes deal +1 damage, and if I had got this instead of that, I would have won against. I would have won a couple more matches. I would have went 4-2, and I would have went on to play the last round, and I might have topped, maybe, depending on obviously other people. I was really disappointed in this. I pulled it off once to win game 1 against Ryan, and then Ryan just game 2 against Ryan, and then he destroyed me game 3. It's good in a sense, but I was just disappointed with it. I sided in 2 Guillotine Cutter. I sided it in most games against weapons, like the Dragon Knight player. Didn't see it at all. And I sided it in against Ryan when he was playing Brave Machines. Didn't see it. It was just all luck, really. I sided in 2 of this because Raging Spirits to hit big things. Didn't go against Raging Spirits. I nearly did, but then, as you all know, the repairing happened. I was actually against Simon from down here in Glasgow, and then the repairing happened, and Amy got put against Simon. Didn't use it, so I'd probably take it out. And then I sided in 2 more of the size 3 for my deck. I sided this in because, again, Raging Spirits. Most of my deck was just to counter Raging Spirits because I felt like I had a really bad matchup against it. I was playtesting it and I was just not winning at all, and yeah, that's why I sided this in. Yeah, guys, my first matchup I actually went against. I went against Amy from the channel. I went against Amy from the channel. That was kind of disappointing because no one wanted to play each other, and I won 2-0 to a 2 older. Next I went against Ryan, who won the event. Well done, Ryan. He won game 1, I won game 2. Game 2 was horrendous. We'll tell you about that another time. Game 3, he just utterly smashed me. Double attack penetrate with the weapon suit thing. 4 crit nullified my spell, and he had the impact in hand anyway, so he won. My third matchup. What was my third matchup? I can't actually remember what my third matchup was. I'll let you know. I know my last matchup was against Damage Control Asgard, which ripped me a new one 2-0. Like, oh my god. Like I was doing Spectre Strike and he was just like reducing damage and popping his own monsters. A good combo he did was he discarded 2, brought down the 11-4-11 guy. The 2 cards he discarded, I can't remember what they're called, but when they're discarded, they put a gauge to your gauge, and then he attacked me for 4 and nullified, and he had the nullified spell in hand, and straight away I took 4, didn't draw into my draw 2s or my draw 4, and he just whipped it forward me. Really good deck. Oh yeah, round 3 was the Dragon Knight player. I was really salty about that game because I was just not hitting Devil Stigmas at all, not once, on the last match, and I would have won as well. Fourth round I won. I can't remember what it was against. For the life of me, I actually can't remember what it was against. And then the 5th round, I played against my mate that I met at the hotel, Andrew, I believe his name is. He was playing the dungeon enemy dragon with a 10,000 for 4,000. No, 10,000 free, 4,000, pay 2, counter, pop, a monster, etc. Spectral Strike is just too good against things with Soul Guard because self-explanatory why it's good. Yeah, I really can't remember what my first matchup was, but I'll comment below and let you know if I remember. I actually can't remember. To finish off the video, for all you know that Sam is the trade folder of the group. So if any of you have 1 SP Gallo, 3 foils of the 100 Demons one that came out. What's his name again? Black Dragon Befrian. I need 3 foils of this, 1 SP Gallows. I need 1 more Dark Energy. I need 1 more Abyss Symphony. And I need 2 more Deathistry and 2 more Steel Fist Knuckle. If any of you have those in foil, and obviously Gallows and SP, give me, myself, or Sam a message. Well, I may be willing to buy most of the foils, maybe not the SP Gallows, but it depends. It depends on the price, and it depends on the person. Yep, that was Black Dragon's deck profile from Manchester Nats. This is Corvi from Bodyfight Glasgow, and I'm signing off.